listening to my video because how last day. So you're gonna read illustrations about the kingdom. So before I read, we're gonna pray. So as Pascal says, please. Dear Heavenly Father, for this day, thank you for everything, thank you for trying to live. Please help me and my friends. Please help my family, friends, those are poor and homeless. And please take this friends, problems, needs help. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're gonna read illustrations about the kingdom. And before I forget, this since it's very, very long, we're gonna divide into 3 parts, okay? So today we're gonna start with the first part. And you can find the whole story at Matthew chapter 13, verse 1 through 53, Mark chapter 4, verse 1 through 34, and Luke chapter 8, verse 4 through 18. Or you can just read Matthew chapter 13, Mark chapter 4, and Luke chapter 8. Let's start. Jesus apparently complained when he rebukes the Pharisees. Later that day, he leaves the house and walks to the nearby Sea of Galilee. While crowds gather, Jesus boards a boat, pulls off from the shore, and begins teaching the people about the kingdom of the heavens. He does so by means of a number of his illustrations or parabolas. His listeners are familiar with many of the settings or features that Jesus mentions, making it easier for them to grasp various aspects of the kingdom. First, Jesus tells of a sower who's sowing seed. Some seeds fall along the roads and are eaten by birds. Other seeds fall on rocky ground when there's not much soil. The roots that develop cannot reach downfall. New plants are scorched by sun and wither. Still other seeds fall among them, among thorns, which choke the young plants when they come out. Finally, some seeds fall on fine soil. These seeds produce fruit. This one 100 times more. That one 60. The other 30. Matthew chapter 13 verse 8. Matthew chapter 13 verse 8. Still others fell on the fine soil and they began to yield fruit. This one 100 times more. That one 60. The other 30. In other illustration, Jesus likens the kingdom to when a man sows seeds. In this case, where the man sleeps or is awake, the seeds grow. Just how if he doesn't know. Mark chapter 4 verse 27. Mark chapter 4 verse 27. He sleeps at night and raises up by day, and the seeds sprout and grow tall, just how he does not know. They grow by themselves and produce grain, which he can harvest. Jesus then tells the third illustration about sowing. Man sows the right kind of seed, but while men was sleeping, an enemy sows weeds in among the wheat. The man's slaves actively should plow the wheat. He replies, "Know for fear that while collecting the wheat, you uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together into the harvest, and in the harvest season, I'll tell the reapers, first collect the wheat and bind them in bundles to burn them up. Then gather the wheat into my storehouse." Matthew chapter 13 verse 24 through 30. Matthew chapter 13 verse 24 through 30. He presented another illustration to them, saying, "The kingdom of the heavens may be likened to a man who sowed fine seed in his field. While man was sleeping, his enemy came and oversowed weeds among the wheat and left. When his stalk sprouted and produced fruit, then the weeds also appeared. So the slaves of the master of the house came and said to him, 'Master, did you not sow fine seed in your field? How then does it have weeds?' He said to them, 'The enemy and men did this.' The slaves said to him, 'Do you want us then to go out and collect them?' He said, 'No, for fear that while collecting the weeds, you uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest in the harvest season. I will tell the reapers, first collect the weeds, bind them in bundles to burn them up, and then gather the wheat into my storehouse.'" Many who are listening to Jesus know about farming. He also mentions something also commonly known, the tiny mustard seed. It grows into a tree so large that birds can lodge in its branches. About this seed, it says, "The kingdom of the heavens is like a mustard grain that a man took and planted in his field." Matthew chapter 13 verse 31. Matthew chapter 13 verse 31. He presented an illustration to them, saying, "The kingdom of the heavens is like a mustard grain that a man took and planted in his field." Jesus, however, was not giving a botany lesson. He's illustrating spectacular growth, how something very small can grow or expand to something very large. Then Jesus draws on a process that's familiar to many of his listeners. He likens the kingdom of the heavens to leaven that a woman took and mixed with 3 large measures of flour. Matthew chapter 13 verse 33. Matthew chapter 13 verse 33. He told him another illustration. The kingdom of the heavens is like leaven that a woman took and mixed with 3 large measures of flour until the whole mass was fermented. Although such leaven is hidden from view, it ferments every part of the dough and makes it rise. It produces considerable growth and chases that are not really discernible. After giving his illustration, Jesus dismisses the crowd and returns to the house where he is staying. So the disciples came to him wanting to understand what he meant. Okay? So that was the first part. So we're already done, and we have 7 questions, but the first part I'm going to ask them 2. And the second part I'm going to ask 3 questions in the second part, and the last part I'm going to ask you 2 questions. So right now, today, the first part I'm going to ask you 2 questions, okay? The first question is, when and where does Jesus speak with illustrations to the crowds? The second question is, what 5 illustrations does Jesus first present? I'm going to say it again. The first question is, when and where does Jesus speak with illustrations to the crowds? And the second question is, what 5 illustrations does Jesus first present? So you can you can share your answers with me at my page at Learning About Jesus. Okay, and this was the story, and this was the first part, and next the next part is gonna be the second part, which will be we're gonna still read about illustrations about the kingdom. So I hope you guys have a blessed day, and bye.